My name's Tommy Mello. I own a garage door company that's going to do over $200 million in revenue. Over 800 employees. We're in 20 states. There's a lot of nonsense out there. I understand it's only TikTok, but here's my overview of some of these videos.
Yeah, so the worst piece of marketing advice I remember getting was focus on the branding and the clients will follow. You know, and I remember building this website and following that advice for 6 months, making sure my website had all the information on it that I needed, all the right pages, nice graphics, nice logo, and then I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs waiting for the clients to come. It was terrible advice.
This information is a fail. It's a large F. The fact is, if you don't have a great brand and your discount garage doors, discount HVAC, looks like people want to pay that's your starting point. You don't start out with the brand after you build the business. You start that from day one. Now, if you don't have the money to build the brand, then you might not want to go to business. And yes, you got to build SEO, but you got to build great content on the website. So I disagree with this guy. He's a smart guy. He admits branding counts. Of course you can make money doing anything. You could build a bunch of ClickFunnels. But at the end of the day, if you want a real business that you could sell one day, you have a website and you put metrics on that website and you make that rank, but it's got to look right. People got to find the information.
First of all, if you're starting a business and you take out a loan, you're a moron. There's so many uncertainties involved with starting a business, yet the one certainty that you'll have to have is paying back your loan. 99% of small businesses you can start with next to no capital.
So this is very dumb advice. If you look at what the smartest people in the world do, they use leverage. So I give that a C- because smart people use leverage all the time. If you're brand new and you're in your 20s and you've never ran the business, you're going to make a lot of mistakes and waste the money. That he's correct on. But the fact is, you need to use OPM, other people's money, to make money. Because having a delayed draw term loan available and being able to raise capital and debt is so important to grow your business.
Framework I've used to buy 66 now boring businesses. I call it sows, like cows. Okay, here's how to do it. You look for businesses that are stale, meaning minimal innovation. AKA, if they still use a fax machine, I'm getting all hot and bothered. Second is O for old. We want long-standing businesses.
So I'll give this gal an A+. You build a brand in a market, you look at the KPIs. You look at these 4 things: conversion rate, average ticket, booking rate, and cost per acquisition. If you look at those 4 things and you know you can enhance all 4 of those, it's a gold mine. That's why I buy companies with a great brand. I take their original brand and make them way better. And then it's awesome because they got all this repeat business. So when I turn all my switches on and I retrain their guys, I make a fortune because you could use technology, use training, use a CRM, and enhance that business dramatically. And there's a lot of baby boomers getting out of the industry right now. In fact, there's about 2,000, 11% of those own businesses. Obviously, if the brand's been around for a long time, they've got repeat businesses, they've got stickers. We love these businesses. The owners are burnt out. They want to go retire. They're looking to make it to the best company possible. We've got a reputation in the industry for closing fast, taking care of the employees, never firing anybody. So they know they're giving it to a good company where the people are going to be able to grow. And this is the strategy, is find great companies that have been around a long time, but are just burnt out.
There's one piece of advice I got from Mark Cuban, changed my life. That's right, I was 19 years old. I read an article and it said that if you email him, he emails you back. He was a billionaire. I was like, really? I was sitting in my boxers in college. I thought I'll email him. And I said, Mark, I'm really a budding entrepreneur. I'm ambitious. I'm working on 5 things at one time right now. I want to be like you when I grow up. What's one advice you would tell me? You know what? He actually wrote back 3 hours later. And I still remember. He said, hey kid, on the way to a Mavericks game, gotta keep it short. But here's what I would tell you. Drop 4, focus on 1.
I'll give him an A+. My whole life changed when I read the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. Right after that book, I read a book called Essentialism. And so many people say you got to have a side hustle, but you don't get to focus on the one big thing. In my book, The Home Service Millionaire, my buddy Dave told me, Tommy, what if you put all your eggs into one basket? It would overflow into others over time. And so I think you should be a master of one thing, and this advice is gold.
Every day, market open, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. I watch some graphs moving across my laptop screen while I look for a few little simple signals. I have my phone ready to place an order. I see the signals and I buy. The stock goes up and I sell only minutes or even just seconds later. Then I close my laptop at 9:50 a.m. Eastern time, 20 minutes from start to finish. I've been doing this now for 2 years, and you can thank my friends' friends for this video. I discovered the pattern and started making money with it. I taught friends, their friends called me off the hook. I made the video courses to teach them.
I see videos like this all the time. How to beat the stock market, how to get in the bonds market, ETFs, currency trading. It's bullshit. If this guy knew this much, then he'd hire 1,000 people and do it every day and not teach anybody. What about Morgan Stanley? What about Goldman Sachs? What about the biggest companies in the world? Why aren't they doing this? What, this guy figured out how to open his computer and buy low, sell high? Sounds great. It's bullshit. This isn't F. It's lies. And he's selling a product because he can't make money in the stock market. There's always these new algorithms that tell you that's going to go up. What does Warren Buffett say? Pick something you believe in, that you know, that you love, that you understand, and invest in those and play the long game. And I've never heard better advice than that. You don't invest in everything and day trade and try to figure out the market. You'll lose money. It's like going into a casino. It doesn't work for long periods of time. If it did, this guy would not be sharing it and selling his little info product. It's bullshit.
How many of you have a Keo or retirement account of some sort? A mutual? Yeah, good. It's garbage. It was a bull thing to rob you. How many of you own a home right now? Let me see a hand. It was bullshit. And you put your money in there. You wanted money and you bought a house. You wanted money and then you put it in in a retirement account.
I think his advice is kind of bullshit. I love Grant Cardone. I love his mentality. I love his thinking. The fact is that if you think buying a house and living in it for 2 years and fixing it up and selling it is a bad move, you're wrong. I made more money in real estate than I've made almost than anything else other than my primary business. I think that if you're going to live in a house and it's a good investment, you should own that. Grant Cardone is talking to one person. Dave Ramsey's talking to another. You're probably somewhere in between. There's a lot of things about 401ks. You got to understand how it's set up. Depending on where you're at in business, 401ks could be great. I did a self-directed Roth IRA. 5 years later, I pulled out $450,000. I rolled that money into another 5-year commitment. Putting money away is great if it's a 401k because at least you're saving something. I think the fact that Grant's missing here is that people have a hard time savings. If it hits their bank account, they spend it. So once it hits another account, read Michael McElroy's book, Profit First, and you'll understand by putting it somewhere else, not paying attention to it, it grows, and it grows using interest. If you enjoyed some of this, please hit the like button. You know, TikTok could be full of great ideas. It could be some bullshit ideas, but I'll tell you this, readers are leaders. There's great books out there. If you want to see some great books, I'm going to put a link here. It's my Rolodex of awesome books, and I hope you enjoyed this.